You see those setups that I'm talking about with Zander bringing them in, the coaching staff on V1 as well, really put in some work. So they're starting off on the defense. That could be where the momentum starts. For Knights, it's really going to be how they actually pressure some of the utility in middle. That version 1 is playing off so well. And already you're seeing some of that setup going off with the Killjoy turret and playing off of sound, breaking the turret, and then instantly grab well with shock darts.
Yeah, they've managed to keep him at bay for now. And you see, this is interesting too out of version 1 defensively. You've got the alarm bot mid from wippie, which is pretty common to hold that. But then you also have Penny kind of stacking up on that to play off of the alarm bot if and when it does go off.
Still no presence up in mid. When that does pop, if they're executing through it, it'll be fine. But if they decide to slow down, it is going to be a split through middle with the wall as well. Right away, V1's going to have to defend. They're falling back to site.
They are. How much can they hold back? Knights starting to flood onto the site. You've got a couple members from version 1, as you said, anchored onto the site. Whipp's one of them, and he's the first to fall. As Pittsburgh Knights just kind of mow over version 1. Zander's the only one that's left, and
30 seconds left.
all of this round's a wrap.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a pop flash in from top, or from spawn from Zellsis. He got cleaned up at the same time as Penny, and Knights was all over that push in from the other side. This was clean from Knights, and right off the bat, pushing through that mid split.
Well, yeah, and break that down for me a bit more, depending on when you're looking at it on the calendar. But the fact's the same, right? Like, they're damn good on this map. That first round to start certainly reinforces that idea.
Already, Doug, they're going up to some cheeky things all the way back. You have sight on B, 2 shorties. And then you also have to pay attention to Zellsis' position. He's giving up mid entirely. They're playing a lot of different trap plays inside of the positions that they might push in, and they're heading right into this B site. So they got Penny and effys. Easy 2 kills potentially for V1. I know.
Oh, man, surely you get some value out of this, right? Maybe, oh, the flash, the swing, oh, Penny gets it anyway. effys does as well. They've gotten value out of the shorties, but how much more can they get? Skuba, XXiF, the only 2 that remain. The spike is on the site, but XXiF's on an island. He doesn't have any help. He's being surrounded right now. He falls, the spike does as well. Skuba's off site. He's got a Spectre, but version 1 have already upgraded 2 weapons.
Yeah, they've got both guns now, and they're all trained. Look at them, 4 of them. Looking straight down. They have the turret covering the lane and the stairs as well. Well played, and way to flip the script. Right on the back of sight, the smoke to come in as well from Zander to help them out. Penny's also throwing his cloud burst. That was clean, and these are the types of things that we're talking about from the start that Knights is going to have to deal with. Still, a very focused attention for Knights over towards this B side. That's twice now that they go for it, and fast too. That's something that we're going to have to pay attention to and keep a dial on.
Or sheriffs, you've got XXiF with the light armor as well and full utility, but you feel the impact from a financial perspective when you win a round and then lose the next one.
This A main fight is going to happen over and over and over as well. Penny, right off the bat, paired with a 0 point from Zellsis, they get the information that they're playing far back, and he's going to creep up on a nice off angle. He could dash out of that if he needs to, but he saves the dash importantly as well. effys, though, is on an island.
Spike has made its way up. You're right. effys doesn't have a ton of help. He's got a shock dart at his feet. A little bit of fancy footwork to stay alive. The dash around. XXiF follows up on the swing, but he's getting dropped. The flashes are there. Version 1 has arrived. And the sheriffs, while they look good at the beginning, they just haven't really been able to put up much of a fight here in this round.
0.2 clears out where Frosty is. Almost no chance. And another Prime Gaming flawless, the second of the game. It's V1 to take a very...
It looks like that's not the case. They're going to play this one a bit more slowly.
Back to the default. Look how V1 is completely nullifying the A main presence. They're trying to grab all them off, but they have to play so far back with the knife potentially coming in at any second there. He actually delays it for a second to make it think that Zellsis is not playing there, to make it think like you're not going to be able to cancel out the abilities and get the information, but you always have to be aware. Go for a drone up towards mid. Also note, with the way that Knights played on that pistol round, the alarm bot's not there in mid anymore.
Right.
So he's paid everything over towards the B main area, and that's exactly the type of adjustments I want to see right off the bat, looking at what the game plan is for Knights. That's twice they went towards B. Let's maybe hedge our bets a little bit towards that side.
Yeah, but with that, you see Knights They're trying, so it's trying a slightly different flavor as well, as they've turned their attention towards A. You've got 2 members from version 1 close by A, and you've also got Zellsis making his way around. We'll see if he catches something. The wall goes up. That should be the cue. The cloudburst comes out as well as Band dashes onto the site. And he's the first to fall, but Zellsis and Zander are able to get a couple of kills of their own. The spike doesn't make it very far onto the site at all, but Knights are still at a spot here where they can reset, where they can take a different approach at this thing.
Yeah, 3v3, but one thing, that wall's still up. He hasn't really broken it. And they're going to have to break it eventually, or they're going to go all heaven. But without that wall being broken, the only thing that they have to worry about is really an A main flank. And actually, Skuba just cleared that out. So they kind of know what's coming. Finally, you have that wall broken down by effys, and a split is now possible.
Yeah, the door just went out as well. Again, threatening that, or reinforcing the possibility of that threat even more. The spike continuing to tick away. The knife comes out. Wippie with the swing. The Spectre from that far just obliterates Skuba. In version 1, just like that. Man, they just took the site right back. What was that?
Yeah. Catching the positioning out from Knights, for sure. A little bit awkward, though, because Skuba was all the way back, shoulder peeking A main, and he was nowhere near, and also didn't really have, outside of that one.
Look at this, though. Genghsta has his Hunter's Fury. Skuba and Band both just a couple of points away from having theirs online. We'll see if they choose to use that this round as they're leaning towards B and Bala. There is a ton of KJ util here to boot.
And you can already tell that V1 kind of knows and is feeling that potentially they might go over towards B. Already getting a star from Zander. But they've also got so much control A main. They really know what's going on. This allows Zellsis to cheat towards mid, allows effys actually to swing over towards B if necessary. You can see him sliding away from that drone just for a second. I like this, though, from Knights. They're exploring, but if they continue with this, I think that V1 really knows what's going on right now with the way that Zellsis is moving.
Well, I mean, they may know, but can they hold, right? Even if they know what's coming, can they do anything about it? The knife was great! The knife stopped Band dead in his tracks. Effys is able to drop him as well. We talked about the gun difference going into this round, and you really see that on full display as now Skuba and Frosty, I mean, Skuba was able to upgrade, and Frosty does as well, but Frosty's health is so low right now, you don't even see it.
Oh, the spam so close. They're both gonna walk lane, and that's where they are too.
Oh, if they catch the timing just right, it's 1v1. Penny swings out. Penny takes care of both, and Penny saves the round for version 1. He's gonna get the defuse as well as V1 get to 4.
Wow. Once again, the same idea. This is the problem that I was saying when I was watching Knights on Ascent. Yes, big win streak for sure, but a lot of times.
See that early knife out from Zellsis. You called a couple of rounds ago. I was a bit delayed. This time it drops fast. Genghsta's Hunter's Fury looking to get a tag. Managed to get one. That's all he's going to get. A little bit of info gathered, a little bit of damage dealt onto Zander, but that's it for now.
Yeah, I mean, but it actually forced him into a much, much more passive position. And for the first time, Knights actually has aim in. So this is looking pretty good for them. I like that idea of really, really random dart to get a Hunter's Fury potential kill. Zander now has to play from heaven. Remember, every single other time, they've actually played him very close to A main, but this time, too, they have Killjoy. Wippie playing with all of his utility on this side. He has a death trap set inside of Tree Room. But once again, they're favoring this. And he's got the angle, though, here, and that might be where they're walking.
The blade storm in his back pocket as well. You see the knife? That's going to grab some. Oh, okay. So you got something. You got a little bit of info. Oh, Frosty. You can tell he's tempted. He wanted to. Lockdown's going to come out as well. A flash. And they throw the brakes on.
30 seconds left.
I really like the way that the ball is used here. Potentially the fake A, but they don't make any noise, and Van just walks out with it. Gets a lot of space in the front where you can actually plant, and this is the death trap. Frosty's gonna get out. He's gonna fight Wippie here, and he's gone.
Oh, you called it the death trap. Wippie gets 2 off of the utility with his weapon, and it looked like he wasn't even going to get a chance to show that, but they rotate back right into the clutches of versions 1 defenses. With that, though, they managed to get it to a 3v2. Knights get the spike down. It's ticking away. Penny dashing around, trying to stay alive, trying to find some angles to work with, and Genghsta drops him. A 2v2 is all that remains. Skuba laying down in hell. It's Genghsta with no armor, trying to find round alive. The clock's ticking though. V1's gonna have to go. Zander on the drop. The gun gives him away. A 1v1. Zellsis with 26 armor swings around, but Skuba gives him the business. A 3K and the round win for the Knights.
Good idea from V1. Cancel that B main hit. That's some very good calling on the fly. So props to Frosty there.
Well, and the thing is, like we touched on, that could have been disastrous, right? Like between the Killjoy utility, between them playing on site, like it worked out. Obviously, it went their way. They managed to get the round win off of that 1v1, but it took some heroics. And we've talked about the depth to this Knights roster on Ascent. They look good, right? Statistically, they're there, 21-0 record, what have you. But how deep is the playbook? Here we're seeing a slightly different look. Speaking of depth in playbook, Frosty with the lockdown mid.
Yeah, but this lockdown is supposed to get you control of tree. And that's what it's going to get, actually, as Penny has to fall off. They're going to push all the way through. Zander's got himself a nice transition. So to play this for a long time.
Oh, gosh. Oh, Zander, one drops. How much more can he get? Not able to get the second. His band takes care of him. Skuba's starting to work his way onto the site as XXiF gets the spike down, and Skuba's going hunting. He gets the wall up. He wants to fight. Oh, he's expecting the ult. Can they protect it? Wippie, good for one. Zellsis takes care of another one as well. And for now, it's going to stay alive, but they've got to push it, and they push it right into Zellsis. Zellsis gets 3, and they're going to get the defuse. Oh, baby.
That's such a good idea, though, for Knights. They know the ult is about to come out. They already have Frosty set up on Cat, but it just doesn't work out because Zellsis is the brick wall in front of the Killjoy.
Playbook, like you said, they had what they wanted to do. It looked good. They just weren't able to execute. Now they're back on pistols. Oh,
Skuba versus Zander, Judge.
Judge
Against
versus
the Bulldog. That
course.
is cheeky. Look at the damage already done, too, to Frosty and XXiF. Just one shock dart right at the beginning of the round from effys.
Oh gosh. How does he not see him? Show me the POV. Show me the POV. I want to see what he sees. Oh my goodness. Surely.
They're not checking to see their knife out.
Oh, he's out. Oh my gosh. He wasn't able to land it with the Judge. It was there. It was set up. The kill would have been perfect. But Ban dashes away just in the nick of time to avoid what would have been hilarity.
It's interesting. Zander didn't actually get that much information. Then Zellsis with the follow-up doesn't find much more besides Ban, and he's got the info here. He's inside of the site of what Zellsis is doing here with the flash, but it doesn't stay alive. That's what I was hoping he was going to be able to get out of that. Now it's just Wippie and effys, and
30 seconds left.
no ults this time.
Oh, the Hunter's Fury's already gone. The wall, the turret, the door, all sorts of nonsense happening by Switch. As it gets cleared out, we'll see. I mean, do version 1 even try this, Bala? They don't have a ton of time. You don't have any ults,
pistols
like
on the
said.
other side. Like,
yeah.
what's the point? The chance, but with already door 100% covered, they know that. With the wall, there's not really many openings.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Penny, because Penny, in my opinion, throughout all of last year, really, he's like this young star, he's cracked out kid who, when he's on as the Jet, he's nuts, right? Like, he can go toe-to-toe with anyone. But when he's not on, when he's just on like a 80%, 70%, if you will, it doesn't...
Comes in, definitely deep into the first half, but there's plenty of time for him to get active. And I actually think that his attack side has been the most impressive throughout the open qualifiers so far, so... Meanwhile, Zellsis and Zander, who are really showing up to me on the defensive sides for V1, even though those are the stronger sides. Like that, the recall for him to take a deeper angle. Just for a second there from Penny. Very nice. That's how you're going to start to set this guy up. And really get him fragging. There you go.
Talked about it. Version 1 almost seems like they need to have Penny on one for them to really thrive and be the version 1 that looks so good throughout the qualifier. As you said, that's a big step. They need to get him a couple of those kills. They need to get the ball rolling for him. That's an excellent start. Now, Knights, with that res, bring Skuba, it was, back online. What do they do with it? The Cosmic Divide comes out to cut off defender spawn, and it looks like they want to go towards B, but there's KJ Util, and there are 2 people backside. Zellsis just on the other side of the wall as well.
Hot flash, actually KO nade.
Oh, that hurts.
Mistimes that though, so they get through. But the flash is so good
Spike
from
down,
Zellsis for whipping a peek. And Ban almost low HP as well, but they get the other player back sights.
That 10 HP just wasn't enough. The shock dart in his face, but Zellsis, what can you do? You've got Penny with the op as well. We've called his name a couple of times. Has a chance at heroics.
They've got an Astral Wall of
but they're so close, Zellsis. That's big.
They could Astral Wall back sight.
There it is. A knife. Penny lands a shot. A 1v3 with no health left. Zellsis gets 3 there. Version 1 are going to get to 6, and we touched on a couple of things here, right? Penny gets a couple of really big kills with the op. We're seeing him warm up. Zellsis, you mentioned in this previous round as well. Man, he's delivering in a big way for V1.
Yeah, I mean, that flash is everything. Decent fundamentals, the way you're pathing through the sites and trading the kills. It's been pretty good for Knights, for sure. And that's why you see them 3 rounds up. But in terms of everything else, not quite.
Oh, interesting buy here out for Knights. You've got Zellsis with the holy smokes, that info. Everyone was lit up. They're gonna try to go onto the site anyway, and it's a freaking meat grinder. They walk into the gravity well. Wippie gets 3 off of that, and all that's left is the Vandal in the hands of XXiF and Genghsta as well. He's got the Hunter's Fury, but he's really in no position to do anything with it. The spike isn't even, it's just out of arm's length as well.
It's in front of the smoke, yeah. Thrown in as well. Almost tags Genghsta. Knife will get him for sure. No chance here. And I mean, you're really seeing the type of meta differential right now. The Astra grab, well, you got the Killjoy mollies, but then you also have the fragment. And also the 2 darts from both Sova and Zellsis in this round, getting so much value.
30 seconds left.
Now, Bala, he did get the spike. If they think he wrote, okay, well, never mind.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Was that a triple swing? Oh, okay.
Right, good luck with that one.
For Knights here. I mean, economy-wise. They're deep in the dumps. Some of them even have light armor in this case. And going to the next, if they lose this, that's going to be really rough for them to try to... I mean, yeah, it's going to be 9-3. Once again, here's what I'm talking about. Not really clearing in towards mid, really not even really poking, besides the drone, in towards bottom mid. And they will walk cat. This is actually to clear potentially some Killjoy utility. Right? Trying to break the turret, trying to break alarm bot, anything in tree. But it's actually a door setup for Wippie, so they don't get that much value out of it besides pulling Zellsis over towards the other side of the map. And that might make the difference.
I wonder how yeah, it looks like they're staying very patient, very disciplined. You just saw effys use drone to get into B main and didn't see very much at all. But they're staying
the problems here. Skuba's waiting right now. They're waiting for the Astral Recalls to come back up. He only has 2 stars, and he doesn't have anything to clear out Penny. So he's here with his op completely uncontested, but they force him off, and they've got the Hunter's Fury. Effys by himself now.
Oh, they've got effys, they've got Zellsis, but Zellsis falls. The ult came online. Still gonna hang around. Effys drops as well. XXiF's gone huge here for the Knights as he's able to get 2. The spike is gonna get planted. See what the remaining members of version 1 can do here in this 3v3. Wippie has the lockdown. If they can funnel him in, and that's why you see Skuba playing off. He's still in market to ensure that they don't get trapped by that ultimate. The wall's gonna go up as well. This looks tough for V1, Bala.
Yeah, 100%. Zander tries to put something to actually force them off of lane, but Killjoy's even not going to get placed. So Zander left in a 1 versus 3. Possible, but very difficult.
I mean, yeah, okay. And that's what we highlighted, right? Like the fact that Skuba, that's a pretty common Killjoy lockdown setup if you know that they're in post.
Yeah, not necessarily the money for it, but also not something that they've been really relying on too much. Big presence here again on EMEA, and Skuba last time. He had that standoff, but his teammates came just in time, and Ben is here. Sometimes that knife gives you false information in this situation that there's only 1 player close. And when you do end up pushing up, Zander's aware.
Penny, what do you got? Spots a kneikap.
Just spotted him. Yeah, but Ben saw him too, so...
Nice. That's so big.
Dude, look how Penny is literally not changing his crosshair placement there at all. You would think, as they realize there's a player up top, he's like, no, Xander's got me now. you know?
Well, and that's the layers, right? Like, we knew a couple of rounds ago, like you said, Skuba was up there. He's able to get the kill that he should have been able to get off of that standoff. But there's a layer to the second layer to that as well. Effys anchoring back B by himself so far, and that really seems to be all version 1 need. Wippie's close by, just in the nick of time, but he falls as well. Ziff's in this 1v3. He's flashed up. He's got
res?
Yeah. It looked like that hit him in the face and bounced off of him.
30 seconds left.
He's got the heal. He's got the spike as well.
Yeah, he can't use the res though anymore now that he's committed to sight. And Penny's taking so much space on them. He's gonna try to go for it, but Penny's here. Yeah.
That is tough. That is tough.
Up against the team of caliber of version 1 on their attack sides, right? So, and it's a new kind of meta way that V1's playing, aggressive on B right away.
Aggressive indeed. The dart, the flash, the everything. They funnel onto the site. Frosty gets dinked. He has to back up, and there's really nowhere that's safe as he tries to wrap around towards some sort of solace, and he gets taken out as well. Zellsis gets the spike down. Boy, that was fast. You blink and you miss it.
Is this Freaky Friday, man? I feel like I'm watching the same pistol from the first half. I mean, obviously that was a B split through mid as well, but dang, they just destroyed that back line of sight. And now they're clearing back through B main, but V1's really not playing anything over towards the side, so they're spending a lot of time that they don't even need to spend.
Well, the thing is, they're so far up, they have to, right? Like, you can't afford to play that any aggressively. You don't have any idea where they are. Zellsis clotheslines, man. Skuba, ooh, baby. Version 1, get the pistol in the second half, and that's a big one, Balla.
Yeah, that hurts. That really hurts.
We're digging deep.
And the problem is that I'm not even helping myself because there's 2 versions. I was going to say one has Lindsay Lohan. And yeah, we'll just end that there.
Oh, man. Knights with pistols and the shorty, as you mentioned, in the hands of Frosty. You can tell V1, like, they're not leaving anything to chance, just in case Knights dial up something a little spicy and they try to go right at version 1. They're playing back. They haven't given up really any info up until this point.
I mean, look how much more patient right off the bat V1 is in terms of specific locations. Sure, we had the way that Skuba was playing on A main, but the rest of the map is quiet at the same time. Now they drone through and they go for the dash right away again.
We've seen this before. It's just Skuba backside now. He's been darted, he's been spotted, he's been dropped. Zellsis is going to get the ult orb as well. And look at him, man. They're pushing all the way through B main. The defenses from Knights are going to have to come in from spawn, and they're just walking right into the crosshairs of version 1. Ban and Frosty are the only 2 left in the round. You see Ban's going to try to work his way into market, while Frosty has everything in front of him. The fact that he even got 1 there is seemingly miraculous, but Ban just kind of left alone. The dash across, the pistol. Good onto Penny.
Getting a little expensive, but
yeah,
that's fine. And after getting the ult orb for the final kill too, makes that can catch you completely off guard. So
see what their approach is in this round. You've got Wippie with the turret, make sure there's no one pushing in B, while the rest of the team is all towards A. You've got Skuba, who's made his way into Wine. The shock dart not going to clean him up, but Effys will. The wall goes up as well and instantly gets taken out.
He wasn't even aiming. He was just trying to break the wall. And then they do damage onto Ziff too, who already down to probably what, 85 HP or so. And they regroup. This is what I love about V1's attack sides. And Zander coming in as the IGL as well. Very, very adaptive. Much, much more like we saw with Vanity on the team. They back up, they regroup, they dart lower mid. So that puts more presence on the map. Knights doesn't necessarily know, but this is a great high-low setup here, Doug.
It is, and they've got 3 people here, right? So they may not know what's coming, but they are prepared potentially to handle it. Oh, but Ban already falls. Look at that, Ziff does as well. The defenses that they had, they just kind of fall apart. Genghsta's the only one that remains, but he takes damage and he gets pushed off. Zander gets the spike down. Second shock dart coming through. You see the 2 remaining members of Knights having to push this in from heaven because you've got Wippie playing tree, making sure nobody goes around, and now he's flanking around. He might get the timing right. Oh, here it is. Yep. Wippie cleans Genghsta up at the end. Version 1 get to 11. This does not look good for the Knights.
Is it the amount of times that you're getting darted, you're getting droned, you're getting pushed off of your initial setups? You need that extra auxiliary, and they went to that high-low setup, something that is easily spotted by 1 dart, and then can get flashed off of angles and stuff like that. Very difficult to hold.
You mentioned that the Null Command and the Cosmic Divide together could be round-winning ultimates. They are both online for version 1. Another slow start here. You mentioned that A main fight. Knife's gonna tag Skuba. Oh, wall goes up Cat. This is interesting from ZXiF. We saw this a couple of maps ago on the side of Knights from ZXiF in particular, who walled this off, but this is the first time we've seen him do it that I can remember. This is usually a very common wall for them.
Yeah, I mean, the last round they were pressuring A main. You had to use it there. So that's the type of stuff that I actually really like from Knights, is the fact that he can pivot between the different sides. What? I'm curious really what Knights thinks is happening right now, because they really don't have presence. The good thing is ZXiF is shoulder peeking on top of this wall into mid. So with this drone, they know that it's not necessarily a mid push, and the alarm bot's still up as well. So back to the same mold for V1 dash with Penny, and he spots him alone.
And Wippie's the one that cleans him up. You mentioned Frosty. He's still back there. The ult comes online. Penny swings around and Frosty falls. That was gorgeous. They just got everything they wanted. They take the site. Genghsta's able to fight back and take care of Wippie. It's still a 4v3 in favor of version 1. They're all anchored on back site here.
There it is.
Cosmic Divide comes through.
Oh, I'm not sure about this one. That's an angle that you could pop in both sides at the same time.
Yep. I just don't know what they have. It's not like they have flashes. They don't have anything to really play off of. They just kind of...
They're saving.
Yeah.
They're saving. I mean, they forced into this round, so, I mean, good decision. They tried to play for not forcing OT. But, unfortunately, they don't end up winning the round. But this save actually gives them a chance in the next one. Otherwise, it would have been just pistols. One little intricacy there I don't think that many people caught was when you saw Penny dash into that switch position, number one, he's pausing for shock darts, for other utility for a second there. I have to play with ZXiF in mid, sometimes, you know, peeking off the Cat, these different things. And they're going fast again, a nice tap. But they trade everybody. It's literally just ZXiF left in the site, and they're going to pop flash out. And he's even getting start at the same time. So how long could he hold? Oh,
He saw that. Surely he saw that. I like what we saw from Knights. I saw the aggressive look, but yeah, it's just countered instantly. My goodness. Version 1 seemed to be able to do no wrong here, as it's a 13-4 beatdown on to Knights. The first loss of Knights on Ascent in this calendar year, and